Welcome back to the Final Fantasy XII playthrough with me, Cold Chaos, and today we'll be doing everything I said in the last part. And here we're introduced to our saucy little childhood friend slash Misty character, Penelo, who's angry at Vaan for having his childhood adventures and stealing money from guards who could probably kick his ass.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now?
And here we learn about the major drama with Vaan. He's an orphan, and he doesn't like being poor.
You know it as well as I do.
Yeah, he's pretty much just one step away from singing A Whole New World on a flying carpet.
This money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Aw, snap! Vaan got his words thrown at him like a towel. Snap.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I helped Miguel.
Yeah, you can pretty much just smell the sexual tension between these two. Don't worry, we're gonna have plenty of opportunities to see this kind of fanfiction material. Well, that sure is one pretty airship. By the way, when does this game take place? I mean, flying airships?
One of these days, I'll fly an airship of my own. I'll be a sky pirate.
I'm sorry, but if he starts singing about being riffraff and street rat, I'm gonna have to shut this playthrough down, because I do not need any Alladin in my Final Fantasy game.
Well, be careful.
Well, I mean, this game does kind of rip off Star Wars anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if it took a few Disney elements.
Oh, Miguel had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
Miguel, we've heard this name a while. Maybe it's about time we actually met this guy. And in order to find him, we need a map, and this is what we get. I'm sure you've probably noticed all the little spaces and whatnot. Those are pretty much just the stores around town, and really easy since this place is pretty big, while the X is pretty much where you have to go to continue the story. I mean, look at this place. All these people that you can talk to, sure, they don't have anything interesting to say, but just the fact that this game can hold all of these people, it's pretty darn amazing, especially when you compare them to other Final Fantasy games, where it's kind of just a small place. And here is Miguel. Nothing interesting about him, really, except for one thing, the fact that he's voiced by John DiMaggio. If you don't know who John DiMaggio is, A, go die in a fire, and B, he's probably one of the most prolific voice actors in all of history. He's famous for his role as being Finn the dog from Adventure Time, or Jake the dog, I get those two mixed up. And he's Aquaman in Batman Brave and the Bold, but his most famous role is being the voice of Bender from Futurama, you know, bite my shiny metal ass. He has another role in this game, but we're probably not going to get to that in the main game. Actually, if you listen to him, he kind of sounds like he's pulling a Bill Cosby. Want you to fetch kites for me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go cameo in the Bill Cosby movie. You think that'll actually happen just at one point in the game? It'll just stop and Vaan will be thinking, you know what, I think it was probably a good idea to just do errands for Miguel. You're probably going to have to look at the map every once in a while to find out where you have to go next. Like I said, this place is pretty friggin' huge. Now, right now we can't really afford any of the special weapons and whatnot, but I'll do that stuff off screen so it doesn't really bore you or anything like that. Traveling to the sand sea, trying to find kites. It sounds like tales, which is weird. So yeah, really nothing interesting about the sand sea, except for one thing that we'll get to in a second. And here's that thing.
There you are, kites. Stop loafing around.
Look, Vaan, look! This is it! This is why Miguel's courier didn't get here on time.
Wow, he totally sounds like a girl.
What is that thing?
It looks like Mayor McCheese's crazed pet.
Miguel sent you too, did he? He's a busy man these days, that Miguel, if I dare say so myself. I don't envy him the work, though. Not
yeah, John DiMaggio, he's doing voice acting for all kinds of cartoons.
welcoming. We should be... whatever.
I mean, seriously, they come in unprovoked and just decide, hey, this is ours.
Nastiness out there in the ester sand would stop in our couriers. And that means shortages all around.
And the couriers decide not to hire any guards because...
Now that's work. Sounds 10 times better than running errands for Magello.
I've always wanted to kick a razor-sharp-toothed tomato in the face.
You should be getting back to Magello.
You should also be going back to Sonic, building his plane, powering it with Chaos Emeralds. Looking at all those Eggman robots. Crazy kids. So yeah, this is pretty much the main... Not the main... It's kind of the most huge subquest in the entire game, is finding marks. This is pretty much where you're going to find them all on these bulletin boards all over taverns and whatnot. Basically, how it works is that you go to the billboard and you see if there's any new marks to find. When you find that mark, you have to talk to the person who posted the bill, which you'll find. The game will give you the courtesy of showing you where they're at, like what specific town they're in, because there's naturally more than one town. And once you find that person, you basically just talk to them. You tell them, hey, I'm going to be hunting this mark. They'll give you a little information about where to find the thing, etc., etc., and you go hunt the mark. The end. And here we are introduced to quite possibly the most hated aspect of this game, the license system. Yeah, this whole board is filled with licenses. Now, what exactly is a license, you may ask? Basically, when you get a piece of equipment, be it an accessory or a sword or a piece of armor, you can't really equip it because you don't have the proper license for it. And there's licenses for everything. So basically how it works is that even if you do have the item, you can't equip it, but even if you don't have that item, it still doesn't matter. Even if you have the license before getting the item, it doesn't just automatically give you that item. So what you gotta do is, you gotta go out and kill enemies to get license points. Those were the LPs that I was telling you about, and you use them to buy licenses here in the screen. Once you do that, you just need to get the money so that you can go out and buy that item, and bada bing, bada boom. You can use basically whatever magic you want, equip whatever weapon you want, and basically learn any skill you want. Right now, we only have the ability to use swords, light armor, and the ability to steal from enemies. And we're basically getting the ability to equip a little accessory that we just got from Tamaj that doesn't really do anything other than just slightly boost our HP. And in terms of my reaction to the license point system, it's not that bad. I mean, it could have been something even dumber, but at least in this, it gives you an explanation for why you can't just equip every spell you want, since you can't apparently do that in this game. But at the same time, it is kind of retarded. Yeah, here you can see all the spells that you can learn, all the techniques you can learn, and the thing is just huge. There are some perks to it that I will get to later on, but for now, it's just really huge, it's intimidating, and it just makes you want to get as many license points as you can, just so that we can go out and get everything so you can equip anything you want as soon as you get it. That was necessary. But the license board doesn't really bite you on the ass that hard. I mean, you get EXP and license points as well, so it's not like you have to go out and do two different things. It's not like drawing magic in Final Fantasy VIII, or having to collect specific spheres in Final Fantasy X. So it's not perfect, but at the same time, it's not really that interesting. But now we have to go out to the Ester Sands, so we can fight the gigantic, well, not really gigantic, but the monster tomato. It's quite a long ways away. Once again, town is friggin' huge, but it's still pretty good. Walking over to the Ester Sand, gonna kick tomatoes in their face. Just one final check to make sure where we're going. Like I said, you'll get lost really easily in this place. And it seems that we've got some guards blocking off our way.
No public passage on account of the Lord Consul's parade.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. You see, it just so happens that your provision...
Just so happens.
He sent me to pick up a few choice morsels for the, Consul's dining pleasure. He wants
Dining
them quick.
pleasure.
I got the route of transit right here.
So many innuendos.
Magello. I just hate to see the Consul upset because
It
his
says
food wasn't ready on
Bender
time.
with a little symbol saying, "Bite my shiny metal ass,
The
Vaan."
Lord Consul is a great man.
I mean, it's not like he's right behind me paying attention to everything I say. Oh, we might as well listen to this kid. I mean, otherwise the game can't go any further.
Move along, boy. Wouldn't do to keep the Consul waiting.
More Star Wars, move along.
Gates are closed after this.
Hey look, droids! I want to thank you for watching, and next time we're going to go out to the Esser Sands to fight some monsters and giant monster tomatoes. See you later.